car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Powered by Panama City Toyota. Your home for Auburn Tiger basketball. WGSX Lynn Haven. WVLQ Port St. Joe. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub! Hey! Oh, Wildcat, wake him up!
Hot tub! Gonna get you hot tub. I'm gonna make it wet. Say hot tub. Rubber dub and hot tub. Rubber dub and me. Stuck in the hot tub.
Yeah!
Will it make me sweat?
Yeah!
Stuck in the hot tub.
Yeah!
Will it make me wet?
Yeah!
Well.
Hey, was Eddie Murphy there?
Was Eddie Murphy at the game?
Wait a minute. This past weekend, I was just going through the channels. And I saw Beverly Hills Cop. I said, I haven't watched that in forever. That movie.
That's awesome.
And all the good stuff was cut out because,
Yeah.
all the cussing and stuff.
I love him.
Eddie Murphy is so good. He's so funny. It's like, oh my gosh.
I loved his brother with Chappelle. You know, his brother died. Blackness. Charlie Murphy. I loved him, man. They were unbelievable.
Eddie Murphy is really funny.
What's the name of that movie again?
Beverly Hills
Beverly
Cop.
Yeah, if you never watched it, make sure you guys get out there and watch this movie. It's hilarious.
There's a 1, 2, and 3 in there.
Yeah.
I think 1 and 2 are really good. I can't remember
hear
3.
okay?
A little bit. It's a little low though.
All right.
No, I got worse. There we go. Perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, good. I'm sorry. All right, we're live 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Some breaking news. Arnold High School baseball team, which is going to be outstanding. Their game has been moved from Thursday to Wednesday. 5:30 varsity starts their game. I think 3 o'clock is the JV game. So whoever they're playing, and maybe it's Mosley.
Ooh.
I can't remember, so don't hold me to that. We'll find out later and let you know. But their game for Thursday has been moved to Wednesday, 5:30. That's Arnold's baseball varsity game will be played at 5:30. JV, I believe, is at 3. And I want to say, no, I think they're playing Mosley Saturday.
I can look real quick.
Yeah,
they got Holmes County.
Okay.
And Mosley Saturday, and then come back to Mosley on Tuesday.
Which I don't like that. What?
Yeah, get it started. Let's go. It's a rivalry right there, boy.
That would be a great game at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year.
Right.
So baseball is back in Bay County. We are a powerhouse baseball county in this part of the state, and the entire state. We're a powerhouse, Jeff. Of course, still Patton's over at Bozeman. Looking forward to having him on Friday. Then let's go over your lineup. Today, we're hoping to get Coach Coffin on. Rutherford done a great job. Yesterday, we had Coach Jones on from Arnold. Wednesday, John Hudson. He's state championship coach. Jeff Patton. Doug Lee, the legendary Doug Lee. Thursday, we'll have him on. And North Bay Haven will also be Thursday at 7. Bobby Hughes will be on here with us. So we've got some unbelievable coaches. I got to get a date and time finalized with South Walton. We're going to get South Walton's baseball coach on here. I'm thinking Monday at 7 is probably going to be the day we do it. I just got to get up with him and Dr. Ward and get that to work out. Anyway, don't forget the Arnold baseball game has been moved Thursday to Wednesday, 5:30 varsity game, JV at 3, Holmes County. What do you guys think? Jim, I saw it, then I saw where Jim shared it. Jim Trussell now has been picked to be the lieutenant governor. It's not official yet, correct?
No, it's got to be approved.
Talk about that.
Well,
you played for the guy.
Yes, I did. He's 3 years older than me. When my sophomore year was his first in college, was his first year of coaching. He was a graduate assistant at Akron. It's hard to consider Jim Trussell's GA, but we were very excited. It was very obvious very early on that he's going to be a coach. He's going to do really well. Obviously, we didn't know he was going to win all those championships.
Right.
But he's very smart, very sharp, very together.
Very Republican.
Yeah, just a good person.
He's a really good guy. He got smeared by ESPN.
Yeah, his father, Dr. Lee Trussell, won the national championship Baldwin Wallace Division III. So he's from a coaching family. Just an outstanding human being. You'll never hear me ever say anything bad about Jim Trussell.
Only
just
that knows
an
him would.
outstanding human being.
Yeah. The only people that really trashed him are the people that don't know him. And that was the ESPN thing. And to me, if you want to know why people don't like Kirk Herbstreit, it's not the little things he says during the broadcast. It's because he went after Tressel at a time when Tressel was the head coach at Ohio State. All that tattoo stuff was going on. We knew a lot worse stuff was going on outside of what was going on at Ohio State. They were literally trading their own memorabilia for tattoos, something that he didn't even think was a violation. Nobody really did.
There was their own jerseys, right? It was
their own, like, gold pants, stuff like that.
Yeah,
they were selling, making money, and they were buying tattoos, and even traded it for tattoos.
It wasn't free McDonald's from Tennessee.
It wasn't free $15,000 or nothing like that. They couldn't even find anything like that. So the way they smeared him, it really left a bad taste in Ohio State fans' mouth. That's why there's so angst between Herbstreit, ESPN, but a great man. Everybody that knows him knows he's an honest man. He was one of the best coaches up there, and he beat Michigan. He turned that around. If everybody remembers, Michigan was beating us in the 90s with Cooper and them. He came in that
Did
first
they get rid of him because the Buckeye people didn't stand behind him?
Oh, we tried to, but Gene Smith, unfortunately, kind of threw him under the bus, and they got rid of him. They brought Luke Fickle in for the interim coach, and that's what led to Urban Meyer. I think they had Urban Meyer already in the bag because he had already quit at Florida, and I think it was easier to just push him out of the way.
Yeah, Jim Trussell had one of the all-time great lines to me. I've talked about this before. We had a player die on the field. He played tight end. I was still on defense. I moved to offense. And I don't know. I held a bag on a scout team against that same kid that died for a year. That's all I did. So when I got to offense, Coach Trussell, his job was to teach me the offense. And we're talking. I said, well, I don't know, Coach. Should I do this, And he looks at me with a straight face, and he goes, well, how much are you playing right now? Jim Trussell said that to me.
That's pretty good.
I said, Coach, what you just said, sign me up. I'm there. I'll do it. That was a class. It was the truth.
He just said something that I wish it was back like that. When you used to go back in the day, you never saw freshmen play. I don't care how good they were. You just didn't have it.
Right.
Almost everybody was either redshirted or maybe a special team player as a freshman, something like that. But 99% of the people were all redshirted. And you did what he talked about. The first year was the toughest. You were the scout team. You were a dummy. I mean, it was brutal.
That's all I did.
You got beat up every single day. And then, but you got bigger, stronger. And by the time you got your fifth year, I remember Nebraska teams, man, they were grown men back in the day when they did that.
Just as a comparison, and I don't know how many were in our class when we came in 1974, but of those kids that came in with me, only one really played as a freshman. Yeah. And he ended up being a 3-time All-American linebacker. He was tremendous. Yeah. I mean, I could see why he played.
Right.
But the rest, I'm serious. I'm not exaggerating. My job, I played defense and was to hold the big dummy, blocking dummy, for the tight end he would block on. That's what I did for an entire year. That's all I did.
Yeah.
And a little bit of Scott, you never played.
Right.
And they didn't redshirt everybody like they did now. You only could give a redshirt if you blew out your knee or something.
Yeah.
It was just different. It was a completely different time. That's all I was.
He was a conservative coach, but he was one of the best game managers I've ever seen, because the year we won the national championship, I think we had 9 games within 6 points that we played that year. I mean, and then we ended up beating Miami, which was one of the best teams in college football history when you look at just the talent across the board. He was just such a good in-game coach. Famous line, what was it about, a punt at the end of the thing is one of the best, series that you can get.
No, he said every series should end with a kick.
Right. There you go.
I heard him in a clinic. I was like, Coach, what are you talking about? Yeah. That's what I'm saying to myself, because I never thought about it. That's why he's at Ohio State and I'm just a schmuck. He said, it should either end with a punt or a field goal or an extra point.
Right.
And I'm thinking about that going like,
yeah,
you're right. That it should. He goes, you shouldn't turn the ball over. You shouldn't fumble it. We're either going to kick it to you or we're going to kick an extra point.
We're not going to go for it on 4th and 3 from our own 35.
Jim Trussell, oh, God, no.
No, we're punting and playing defense.
No.
You said something, too, maybe stood out in my mind when you mentioned about you could tell. That's like Mac Brown. We could tell he was going to be special. He was a young guy coaching at Southern Mississippi, and Jim Carmody was the other one. He was our defense coordinator, and you just knew he was going to be a head coach.
Yeah.
You just knew this. He was just different. He was a big, tall guy, very confident guy, no nonsense. highly intelligent, good-looking guy. He whatever it is, he had it, and he went on to be the head coach of Southern Mississippi.
He'd be another good politician. And I hate when people say, "Oh, he has no experience." Well, the people that have experience are robbing you blind right now. So is that what you really want? I mean, let's bring some new blood in here and get some guys that are, have raised young men and mentored them and have done good in people's lives instead of just go there to steal your money.
It's just I'm just really upset. It makes my heart hurt that these guys that are playing college football now will never know what it really was about.
Yeah.
When you actually as a player can sit there in a living room and kind of just look at the coach and lean back and not show much respect. How much are you going to pay me?
Right.
I mean, they have no clue what it used to be. They don't even have two-a-days anymore. They don't really know what hard work is compared to what it used to be. And that game taught you discipline, commitment, and teamwork. We don't get that anywhere anymore.
It's been erased from society.
It's another way to destroy this country. I truly believe that.
It's turning around. I would fully believe it. You know what I mean? Watching the sporting events, there's a lot more patriotism. I mean,
I felt good about the Super Bowl people. I loved it when they went crazy for Trump and booed somebody else. I won't mention her name.
Yeah, I think that was more Philly fans, and I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan, but
I like them.
Philly fans booed Santa. You know what I'm saying? I'm not surprised.
Are they bad? Philly fans?
Oh, they're terrible.
Oh, God, yes.
They're notoriously terrible. You don't want to go to a away game with a away jersey.
Well, they even had a riot. They won the Super Bowl, and they had a riot in the city. Now, if you win the Super Bowl, have a party, but don't have a riot.
It's bad. I mean, there's a bunch of videos online of them jumping, opposing fans going to their stadium and doing. It's wild up there.
Wow.
Yeah. Right. And they did boo Santa and threw snowballs at us during the halftime game one year.
All right, speaking of halftime, I'll give my opinion. I don't know what he said. I don't know what the songs were. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke. Why would you not have somebody... Prince probably the best one ever.
Right.
Michael Jackson, and people probably don't remember him, but he was unbelievable when he did it out at the Rose Bowl.
So why
don't you get somebody that Dinah Ross? Remember she did it. Everybody knows her song. They knew the songs. There's somebody big that it touches everybody. This guy, and I found out why that girl's husband's in charge of it. The one that just won the Country Western Award, and there's no way she should have won that.
Well,
what's her name?
Beyonce.
Yeah, I don't think he's involved with him because he was directly calling out a pedophile during that.
I'm telling. Was he not in part of that?
No,
I'm not sure.
He was actually calling out Drake, which got caught dating a minor. So he was dissing him and actually calling out pedophiles. Drake? Another artist that got caught up in the Diddy stuff.
Well, who's in charge of I thought he was in charge for the last 2 years of the entertainment.
There was some messaging there that you would be on board with that I don't think you understood because it's not our type of music.
I didn't know what he was saying.
He was talking about pedophiles and talking about how they're not like us. A lot of people thought he was talking about white people. That's not what he was talking about. He was talking about some of these pedophiles in Hollywood. So there was you
couldn't understand. Did you understand it?
I did because I've listened to rap for my entire life, so it's a little bit different.
All right, well, maybe I'm wrong.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I mean, everybody has their own opinions. I'm just saying there's some messaging there that you would be on board with, that he was calling out some people that you would be very happy about.
I said, I don't know really anything about him, but I'm going to watch him and try to keep an open mind. I got to be honest. When I saw the red, white, and blue, and I saw Samuel L. Jackson and his Uncle Sam, I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
But I'm like James. And I know I have hearing issues and I wear hearing aids, but it's not a matter of not hearing him. I couldn't understand a single word that he was saying.
I did not know.
So to me, and I'm like you, they said, well, you got to understand the messaging. Well, okay, well, tell me what he said. And you look it up. It's like, well, that would have been good had anybody understood what the heck he was saying.
I will say this about rap.
Nobody knew what he was saying.
It's hard to pull it off live in a stadium like that. When you got that much production, that much everything, it's very hard because we're used to listening to like Whitney Houston or somebody like that.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with it. I think it's just a change up. I do think his messaging was really good. It's just our generation's not going to understand it, So it's just that is what it is.
Yeah.
The younger people loved it.
I'm glad to hear that what he was saying, though.
We'll talk about that off the air because I don't want to get it too far into politics, and we'll probably get a call from the man if we get too far into it.
Okay. All right, let's talk about the man. Let's talk about the man right now. Wildcat.
Oh, yeah.
I want some jewelry. I want some great jewelry. Where am I going? There's some all kind of deals going on.
Not only do they have a great selection of jewelry at David Adamson Designer Jewelry on Highway 77, but they also do a lot of repairs. They can repair everything from a watch to a ring, get a new crystal put on your watch, or just take it in there and get a new battery put in your watch. Go in there, walk around, talk to Russ and Amber, and they're going to find something that you like, or get that custom-made piece of jewelry like I did. See what I got.
Beautiful. Right there. It's gorgeous. Beautiful. I love it. That's beautiful. Man. If I had that kind of money you make, I'd have that too.
Well,
beautiful.
Someday. I'll
get there. You are my idol. I do want to talk about this, though. You've got to get, you and I have been down there. I don't think Jim and Jason have been down there yet. We have got to get down, and you out there listening, you got to get down to historical downtown Panama City Beach. You got to get down to Local 115. I think you'll absolutely love it. It's an Oyster Bar sports theme. It's like a museum down there. They've got all the old-time players, rosters, cheerleaders, you name it, all sports, not just football, all sports. It's incredible. The food's outstanding. Vandergrift family's involved in it. They've got some sponsors that do, some partners do a great job down there. It's an oyster bar. They got oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbos, soups, salads, wings, ice cold beer, nothing fried, kind of a healthier option. Gumbo's really good. BLTs, they got some good stuff down there. They got the Tommy Oliver draft beer.
That's all you need to know right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a really cool restaurant. Go check it out. We think you'll really like that. And then the heavy hitters, I tell you what, man, Stevenson Air Conditioning, what a great job he does throughout the whole panhandle of Florida. If you have any problem, winter's not over. You'll know what I'm talking about at the end of the month. You'll see. You'll wish you'd got his service. Our power bill, after the snow and everything that's happened, our power bill was really low. Julie said, man, I can't believe this. That's because we have Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll come out and look at your house, tell you what you need to do to get help with your power bill, but you got to get it serviced about every 6 months. It's going to run better. It's going to last longer. It's going to save you money on your power bill. Go with a local company. Go with Stevenson Air Conditioning. Just like the local, legendary J. Michael's Restaurant on Thomas Drive. The best seafood, the coldest beer, the legendary J. Michael's. Black beans and rice tonight, quesadilla. They got that there special for lunch and dinner. But you get the best seafood you want anytime. Try their pork chops. They're unbelievable. It's like a huge steak. It's unbelievable. The legendary J. Michael's. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest. Hope we got Coach Coffin and the Rutherford Rams baseball. Be right back.
Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
The number one Auburn Tigers 14-game winning streak came to an end last week, but they're ready to start a new one. Tonight, the Auburn Tigers are in Nashville to face conference foes, the Vanderbilt Commodores. Tip-off coming up at 6 right here on your home for college basketball and the Auburn Tigers.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, partly sunny and a high of 71 with wind 8 to 12 miles per hour out of the south. Mostly clouds tonight, a gentle breeze and quite warm near 67. Partly cloudy and 73 tomorrow. 71 and a possibility of thunderstorms and light showers with a gentle breeze Thursday. Friday, some sun and a temperature the same at 71. This is your Tuesday's weather brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Introducing Lucid Stream TV. Get over 2,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch local network channels from most major markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's more than sports. Lucid Stream TV offers premium movie channels like HBO, Cinemax, Stars, 200-plus entertainment and news networks, or watch 10,000 movies on demand, including recent theater releases. Just $42 a month when you use the promo code ESPNNW at checkout. Watch on up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Lucid Stream TV gives you everything you want for less. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score Lucid Stream TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Lucid Stream TV logo.
If your neighbor, employer, or grandmother were traumatized by comments made on the Coach James Hale Show,
One thing people aren't saying a whole lot about, and I'll probably get in trouble,
but
but
just wanted to take this moment to say, get bent. We're live from the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest. One of my favorite baseball coaches, Coach Coffin, from the beautiful school of Rutherford High School. Coach, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. So good to be back on with you guys.
I'm glad you feel that way. We've missed you. It seemed like it just yesterday we had you on here talking about baseball, and here we go again, another year. What do you think? Before we get going, let's talk about your coaching staff. Any changes, and tell us who are your coaches, who's going to work with you this year.
Yeah, we added a great new assistant coach to our staff this year, Marquez Oates, former Bay High legend, and Troy University legend. So he's been a great addition to our staff. And then we have a little mix of guys that help out after him, Jonathan McQuaid, Nico Parker, Andrew Starr a little bit. So kind of a mix of characters, but yeah, we're glad to have Marquez on the coaching staff, and we're looking forward to this year.
All right, we're going to give you this opportunity the first time on. Let's thank the people that support you, the principals, this athletic director, our superintendent, our school board members. But talk about your administration over there, the support you get, and who are some of them?
Yeah, Rutherford has a great support staff, starting with our principal, Mr. Mitchell. He does a great job. He's got things going in the right direction at Rutherford, and he's always at games. He's always supporting us, and he's doing a great job over there at Rutherford, and along with DeBar Manning, our athletic director. He's always there. He's one call away at all times, and just anything I need, he's there to support. And he's just one of many at Rutherford. And we got to give a special shout out to Miss Billy Clayton. She does our announcing at our games and plays our music and does the scoreboard. She runs the show off the field. So we thank her so much. And there's just a great support staff at Rutherford. I couldn't ask for much more.
All right, you got it. What about your booster club? Give us some names. Who helps you there?
And these are the real important people here. Kim Wynn and Mandy Harry, and they do so much for our program and so much for our kids. And I don't know. I try to tell the guys how lucky we are to have them and the support they give us, and meals before games, and the concession stand, and always supporting us with gear and whatever we need. So a big shout out to them as well.
Well, we know you kind of started this thing from scratch. I mean, there were times you didn't have a lot of players. This year, has the numbers gone up? Do you have enough for a varsity JV? Talk about how this thing's been built over the years.
Yeah, we've been trying to build it up, like you said, for years. We had a few hiccups in the road this year, I'm not going to lie. Some guys that left the program for whatever reason. So with that being said, we still have a young group of guys that have been with us with a lot of varsity experience for a few years, and we work, and we're going to continue to work no matter what that looks like. And we got some new guys added to the mix. We will just have a varsity this year, but some young guys mixed in there to start building the program up when these guys that have been here for a while leave. So I think the program's still in a good spot, and we're going to continue on that trajectory.
Coach, if you've been around here, everybody's aware of the issues that you had, with the storm, the hurricane, taking out the school, essentially, and you're, like you said, you're starting from scratch. Of all those coaches that you mentioned, are they all on staff, or are they volunteers from the community? Because obviously, as a coach, it's always better if you have the people in the building on staff with you. So give us a little information on that.
I would say we have one or two volunteers, but the rest are on staff with us.
Well, that's good. That's a good first step.
Yeah.
Now, you still have middle school kids on campus, correct?
Correct, yes.
And there's not going to be a JV team for them?
There is not with the numbers that we have.
Do you anticipate any middle school age kids making any kind of contribution on the varsity? Are you going to keep any?
Yeah, we've kept the 3 middle school guys, which is awesome to get them around our varsity guys. I don't know how much they'll contribute on the field, but they come to practice and they work every day, and we're going to develop them just as we would anybody else.
I was just looking through your schedule on Max Preps. Did you play Bay High last week?
Classic.
We did not. There was we hosted the preseason classic at our field.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Somewhere along the lines of somebody plugging it in, they made a little mistake
Okay.
there.
Who's your district this year? Who's in your district?
Yeah, our district changed. This year, it's a smaller district. We have us, Bay High, North Bay Haven, and Gadsden County.
Wow, that's a nice little district right there.
Yeah.
And they don't take the top 2; they'll take the district champ, and then they go to the Max Prep deal. I guess is that still correct?
Yes.
Wow, I hate that. Let me ask you this: give us some names of some of the players. As many names you can give us. Who's out there playing for you?
All right, we start with our seniors. We have Connor Ward. He's an outfielder, left-handed hitter, left-handed pitcher, and he's made a really big jump offensively. He's really starting to hit the ball with some power, and he got a good preseason in those 2 games, and really looking for him to have a big year, along with Javier Giorbolini. He's a shortstop or a top-of-the-lineup type hitter, runs the bases really well, and also pitches for us, too. He's poised to have a big senior season as well. And then Tyler Harry and Devin Langley, they're both pretty much the aces of our staff. They're both juniors. They had big years last year. Devin is a lefty and Tyler's a righty, and they kind of work off each other. And I'm looking for them to have big years coming up. They both had under a 3 ERA last year, so very excited to get them rolling. And then Douglas Maldonado, he's the heartbeat of our defense. Behind the plate, he runs the show. He's an incredible blocker. He throws the baseball well and also hits in the leadoff spot for us. And then Kalen Wynn, he's got a little injury right now, but he'll be back soon. He's second baseman, hits for some power for us. And those are the main guys on our team. And I'm excited to get going tonight against Port St. Joe at home.
Okay, good job. Do you have any games on Wednesday or Thursday this week, or just on Tuesday?
We have Port St. Joe tonight, and then we go to Walton High School on Thursday.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you something. I kind of heard your voice, people leaving. So we're dealing with it at the high school level, kind of like NIL. You think you develop a player, thinks things are going to be good, and all of a sudden they're playing somewhere else. That's kind of happening around here?
Yeah, for sure. That definitely happened.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little scouting report on Port St. Joe? I know they played a game already. Did you get to break down their film or anything? And what about the pitching matchup? How do you guys match up with them?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to go see their first game, but just a good program. We didn't play them last year, but the year before last we played them. And it was a fundamentally sound team, and I know they had a good team last year. They lost in the regional final to Bozeman. I went to that game. And I think they have some seniors on this team, but they're always pumping in new guys, so we're ready for the challenge.
Yeah.
And looking forward to it.
Coach, let me ask you this question. In the past, there's been like a Bay County championship, but you being at Rutherford, do you have to play Mosley and Bozeman and Arnold? You're talking about some really top-end programs. Are you playing any of those teams this year? Does that Bay County championship idea still exist?
Yeah, we try to play everybody in the district. We play Mosley this year, which hasn't been on the schedule. I really wanted to get that one back on the schedule. We play Bozeman. Arnold is not on our schedule this year. Then that wasn't just I was in constant communication with Coach Jones, but it just didn't work out dates wise for us. But yeah, we try to play everybody in that.
You have Bozeman this year too?
Yes, sir. 2 times.
Wow. Well, what do you think? I mean, do you feel pretty good about this year? You think y'all can do something, or you think it's going to be another rebuilding year after everybody left?
I mean, I think it's going to be a process, but I definitely think in this district we got a real shot, and I'm not saying we're going to go out there and have an unbelievable record by any stretch, but I think that it's definitely a winnable district, and that's kind of our goal, to be playing good baseball by the end of the year and have a real shot at that district championship.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming on. We'll call you every Tuesday, 7:15. You can give us the rundown, everything that's happening over there at Rutherford Baseball. Thank you so much, Coach. Thank you, buddy.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, guys.
Good luck,
Thank you, man.
Coach.
All right, South Oak Title and Closing. You got a real estate closing, you got to go South Oak Title and Closing. If you don't, you're making a mistake. They're always perfect, no mistake, no surprises. Mark Cowell on 30A, multi-million-dollar homes, and he won't have anybody else but Chuck Tucker and South Oak Title and Closing. So should you. South Oak Title and Closing, #1. The legendary Dr. Chad Mitchell here yesterday does an incredible job. I tell you, people come from all around to be operating on him. One kid I grew up with in Montgomery, she was over in South Walton. I think they live in South Walton now. It's called. Got her hooked up, and Chad did it. The operation did an incredible job. He can do it the old-fashioned way. He can do it by robot. He can do it all. The legendary Chad Mitchell. Newbies, 4 great locations. Newbie 2 on the Curve. That's where we want you all. Sporting events. Head on down to the Mothership. Have a great time. Listen to the best entertainment in the Southeast every Friday and Saturday night. And don't forget the new one in St. Andrews. Beautiful facility. John and Charlotte always giving back to the community. Let's make sure we go support all 4 of the newbies. Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. It can be deadly. Don't put it off. 5 minutes can save your life. Women, 2 top things they deal with: breast cancer, skin cancer. Make sure you make an appointment with Dr. Ward. Go get checked out. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The next evolution in sports talk radio.
We're back!
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The Afternoon Underdog. Hi. The only live afternoon show in Panama City where you can win fantastic prizes from amazing local businesses every day.
That's right!
4 to 6 weekdays. The Afternoon Underdog.
It's mayhem!
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Do you want to eat like a local? The Local 115 is now open. Local drinks, local sports, and local food. Delicious oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbos, salads, paninis, wings, wine, and cold beer. Nothing fried. That's right. No fried foods at Local 115. Amazing local food with an exciting local sports and mural theme. Eat like a local at the Local 115. 115 Harrison Avenue, downtown Panama City.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive the new 2025 Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorrento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Go nuts.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
2, 3, 4. Florida State. Woo! FSU update is brought to you one and only newbies. We just talked about newbies. 4 great locations. Love John, love Charlotte, always giving back. Let's make sure we go support them. One of the 4 locations,
We went to the Booze and Brews Saturday for about an hour and played some darts, listened to some music. It was good atmosphere. Loved it.
I hope you said you heard it here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Yeah.
Go have a great time. Any of the four. I love the mothership. That's still pretty cool. I like going up in the wintertime, going upstairs and having a good time.
Usually see some people you haven't seen in a while.
Oh, yeah. Especially in summertime. My God, running people we haven't seen for years.
Right.
All right, let's talk about, Jim, what do you have for us today on FSU?
Well, we're going to talk a little bit of baseball here, ACC baseball. In the last week or two, the ACC coaches got together and they picked the ACC preseason baseball predictions, and they ranked all 16 teams. Okay, now you would expect, obviously, Florida State to be pretty high up.
Yeah.
So I can give you all 16 if you want.
Yes, do it.
I'll count down or up.
Yeah.
At 16 is Boston College. Okay. 15 is Notre Dame. Now,
Wow.
That's a real surprise because Notre Dame about 3 years ago
With Lee
Really
Jarrett.
good.
with the coach at Florida State
Right.
was really good. So they must have really fallen off. But anyway, Notre
Coaching
Dame is
matters.
15. Pitt 14. Cal 13. Virginia Tech 12. Now this is the one that really surprised me because they're a power. If you know anything about college baseball, is Miami.
Oh, wow.
Picked for 11th in the ACC, so they must have really fallen off the table. That was the big of all of it. That what surprised me the most.
What else affecting baseball?
And these are the coaches' picks now.
Yeah.
These aren't some outsiders. These are the guys that actually have something to do with it. Obviously, 10 is Georgia Tech, 9 is Louisville. All right, for
Very
Randy.
good program, too. That's pretty surprising.
Stanford is 8.
They're usually really good.
Yeah.
North Carolina 7. Wake Forest 6. And here's the top 5. Your head's saying, well, who's left? All right. At number 5 is Duke, and they're the defending ACC champs.
Yeah.
All right. 4 is Clemson. They got one coach voted for them to be first place. Okay. I don't know who. Didn't say who. Number 3 is North Carolina, who made the College World Series last year. Number 2, Florida State. Coaches picked them to be league champs. And then number 1,
Miami.
no, Virginia.
Wow.
Virginia. 13 coaches, so almost a unanimous.
I didn't hear Miami.
11.
11.
Wow.
That's what,
11. So that's a real surprise to me.
Yeah.
So.
I'm a little surprised Wake Forest is down that far. Didn't they make it to the
Yeah.
college?
Wake Forest is good.
Yeah, they usually are.
And it's a lot like the SEC, which I'm going to mention. By contract, I have to mention them in everything I do.
Yes, sir.
But I'm not going to mention Alabama's player score touchdowns.
SEC. I will.
You mean like Auburn losing to still be number 1 in the country?
Exactly.
So they can play 1 versus 2 next week?
Well, it could have been Bama.
I know.
So anyway, I didn't realize that Virginia was that good, but 13 of the 16 coaches all picked them. So there must be something to that. I was thinking like Wake Forest, like Wake Forest, Florida State. Florida State had 2 people vote for them to be ACC champs. Their season starts. It's Friday. They got 3 games at James Madison in Tallahassee. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They got 3 games. So it's coming up here. Now, there's also the D1 preseason top 25. Not just ACC, but all teams. And I'm not going to read them all to you. But of those 25 teams, 15 of them are either SEC or ACC baseball teams. So it's not real hard to figure out where the best baseball is played. It's in the South and in the South.
Right.
That's kind of where...
The weather helps.
Yeah, the weather helps. And we've talked about this a lot. I grew up in Ohio, so did you, Jason. You can't play baseball in March in Ohio. You just
sometimes
can't.
not in April.
Yeah, you just can't. So that's why they come down here and go to these tournaments.
It's hard to recruit elite players and say, hey, your season's going to be shorter. You're not going to get the exposure. It's kind of like Big Ten, SEC, and football. I mean, they should just make a super conference because let's be honest, all those northern programs are losing money. I mean, there's maybe 1 or 2 that compete.
Right.
I know Michigan's made a College World Series. Notre Dame's has.
I was about to say Michigan's not bad.
No, but it's very hard to recruit players into that type of climate.
It's just not the same. It just doesn't.
And a lot of the players grow up because they play year-round down here. I mean, so they grow up playing baseball from 10, 11, 12. You're playing year-round now with the travel ball teams. It's so much more advanced. I mean, look at some of the high school kids we got around here, just high-end, elite talent. So,
there's no question.
Yeah.
So Florida State's picked to do very well in the ACC. In the D1 preseason, everybody included, Florida State is number 9.
Nice.
All right, now the top 5. Okay, give your drum roll for the SEC.
Oh.
But you're sorry, Alabama Crimson Tide's not in there.
I don't think we're in the top 25.
They're not.
Whoa.
All right, number 1, Texas A&M.
Woo!
2 is Virginia.
Yeah.
Texas A&M, they lost their coach. Remember?
Yeah.
Wait till that game. Texas A&M. Yeah.
LSU, number 3.
Yes. Go Tigers.
Tennessee, number 4, defending national champs.
Yes.
Arkansas, 5.
Yep.
North Carolina, 6.
Yep.
Oregon State, 7.
Oregon State's good.
Yeah.
Georgia, 8. FSU, 9.
Georgia's 8th? Wow.
The Florida Gators, number 10.
Too low. They need to be higher.
Yeah,
Well, when they get Cooper and Blair, they're going to be higher.
Yeah. That's a year away.
Yeah, that's a little.
Hopefully they'll get them. They don't go to play in professional.
So, and there's more, but, I'm not going to read it any more SEC people.
Why not? You read all the ACC.
Where's the Big Ten at then?
Oh, what?
Did Michigan make it?
No, funny that you mentioned it.
Indiana?
No, the only Big Ten teams in there, it's kind of misleading.
Oregon.
Number 12 is Oregon.
Yeah.
And number 24 is Nebraska. That's a real Big Ten team.
Nebraska.
Other than that,
All right.
nobody.
Good. You would think with the World Series there, Nebraska would be
Still
really
got
good.
crappy weather.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's recruiting guys to play half the season almost sometimes.
Yeah.
And you
It's
come
just
down to south to
completely
play
different.
during spring because they take these spring break trips to play in tournament just so they can get some games. I mean, there's still snow on the ground up there right now.
I really want to go. Southern Mississippi's got a chance to be good this year. I really want to go out to. Do y'all have any desire at all? I'd like to go see that.
I would love to go out. I love baseball. I played baseball until I was about 15. And when I got to high school, I had to choose a couple of sports because, I played tennis, baseball, basketball, football, and it just got too long of a season. So I actually took a year off. Then I played my 10th grade year, but taking that year off, when your timing is just like, it's hard. So
I wish I never quit playing.
I did too. I mean, because I could have been a better baseball player than was a basketball player. I just wasn't big enough to play basketball on a college level.
So all those players out there, if you think, maybe I should just focus on this, go play them all.
Yeah.
I think back now. I used to make the players, if they didn't play, they had a choice, but they knew I wanted in the weight room, lifting weights, and football. If they loved the other sport and did that, that's fine too.
Right.
But they were going to lift weights.
Yeah, do something.
But I do regret not. Did you play baseball?
No, I was track and basketball.
Yeah. You were tall. What position? Center?
Yeah, kind of positionless. It's not like we were all sick. My junior year, we had 2 guys who were really good. They were like 6'5", 6'6". We were really good. My senior year, I never had played a team who had a losing record in basketball. So we were like 6'3", 6'4", Nothing like.
Yeah, there was talk that he was the next Jordan coming out, but he just didn't develop all the way. He didn't have the
Negatory
commitment. You could dunk, right?
Volleyball.
Yeah, that's all right. Wildcat, could you dunk? What were you, more of a baseball or basketball, football? What were you?
I wrestled and I played football.
You look like
Did you wrestle? Did you wrestle or did you wrestle?
I wrestled.
Wrestle. Good job. That's a Southern thing.
And I studied 2 different kinds of martial arts.
Oh, wow.
Mo Duck and Taekwondo.
Yeah. He flipped me the other day.
I was going to say, he could throw
I flip him all the time.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true that is it true that you and Manley played in the 5'6" and under basketball league and you were
5'2".
They got the lower goals.
It was Manley's birthday yesterday.
Yeah. Manley is 76 years old.
That's why he's so good at golf.
Doesn't look a day over 90.
He looks
No.
I thought he was in charge of halftime of the Super Bowl. I called him and said, is this your deal or what's going on? No, but baseball's so good around here, and we're talking about the southeastern part of the country and the South in particular, all the great players. But we got great baseball coaches. You got fathers that played the game that really into it. They do a pretty good job coaching too, the youth league. There's a talk that maybe we might have Bay County middle school baseball. I would like that, and I think if you're a head baseball coach, you would love that.
I just can't believe that did they ever have it when you were like in middle school?
I don't think so, no. Because most people play youth baseball.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you play all the way up to
do you
about
really
14,
need it?
15, because junior major leagues was 13, 14, so...
Yeah.
it'd be hard to fund for the schools. That'd be my only issue.
Well, it's not that expensive.
Some of the equipment is batting cages,
you
fields.
stop just from a purely financial point of view. Okay,
Right.
just for money, that's all. The most expensive sport is football.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There's no
100%,
question.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
you
it's
already
not
have
even close
football
compared to-
fields. Everybody has football equipment.
Compared
at this
to
point.
a baseball.
But if you're starting a new sport and you got to buy equipment, you got to buy batting cages,
The
you gotta buy
uniforms. But
uniforms.
most people can buy their own bats.
These kids
their own
play
glove.
so much baseball right now. I think I would. It's not my decision. I'd leave it up to the people that make the decisions and the kids and the parents if they want it. I'm all for it. But it just seems like they play so much baseball. And there's so many avenues to play anyway at that age.
Yeah, I just like the idea there's more opportunities and stay involved in something at the middle school.
Right.
And I know most of them do anyway, but I wish they would do it. But I get it. I mean, I do understand that it's so popular and they're playing travel league and everything else. So I get you don't have to have it.
Right.
Look how good we've been in baseball without it.
Yeah.
Just imagine.
Yeah, that's
you might
true.
be really good with it.
The youth baseball around here has been tremendous since I was, a
It's
kid.
crazy. It's unbelievably good.
We finished second in the state like 4 or 5 years in a row from the time I was 11 until 14, and we got beat by the same
all I
team
got
every
is
year.
two names. And you know one's so good around. Bill Allen and Greg Bernicki. I mean, those two men there have done more for baseball in the state of Florida, and they don't get any credit.
Yeah.
They are Bay County.
Yeah, and they're Florida State.
They pick coaches and get rid of coaches. They got a lot of
They
power.
made the right pick this time.
Yeah.
I'll give them that.
Jason, the right pick. The right pick is getting down to Max Fit Sports Nutrition. What's going on down there?
Well, we got a lot of people coming in for meal plans. I know it's about to be beach season, starting to warm up. A lot of people are kind of sticking to their New Year's resolutions. So we have our certified sports nutritionists on staff. If you want somebody to sit down, explain what to eat, when to eat it, they can put you on a plan. We have our InBody 570 to track the results so you know you're getting results. We've had 3 or 4 come in the last 3 or 4 weeks, and we're just extremely happy with the process. And, it's hard to figure out what to eat, when to eat it, and, is this okay? If I go out to dinner, can I have this? But our
You
girls
take all the guesswork out of it.
Absolutely, and our girls get back with you immediately. You can text them immediately if they have any questions. So it's a really good opportunity for you to kind of learn nutrition if you've never had that experience before. We also have a free sample bar for like our proteins, pre-workouts, amino acids, our multivitamins, which you guys take, the greens. Our joint boost is a liquid glucosamine product if you have joint pain, and then the BPC TB 500 if you have any connective tissue.
I swear by that.
I use it all the time now.
Yeah.
I had a torn rotator cuff that healed in about 4 weeks, but just by taking that without surgery. So.
It's amazing. You put that on, I don't know what's in it, but it works. I believe me, if you had a shoulder injury, a knee injury.
Any arthritis.
Yeah.
I know people that have been in debilitating pain for, 10, 15 years, and are like, I don't have any answers. Come try out this cream. It's produced in the stomach. It doesn't have any side effects. It's a natural product. So we produce it naturally, but this is something to get it a little bit more in your system, and it just repairs connective tissue. So phenomenal product.
All right. Thank you, Jason. Paparazzi Pizza. You love pizza. There's only one place to go. That's Paparazzi. We had it for Super Bowl Sunday. The girls loved it. We all do. Always do. Paparazzi. Wonderful people down there. They've got 4 restaurants in one. You got to go in and have a bar. You can watch all sporting events right there, eat your pizza there. They got a bakery that's best in Bay County. Yes, I said the best in Bay County. They make cakes fresh every single day there. They're incredible. You got all kinds of selections. Then the pizza, get what you want. They got a lunch special, $11 and change. You get 2 huge slices of pizza and a drink for $11 and some change. Feed 2 people, no doubt about that. And the deli is unbelievable. Lasagna, spaghetti, salads, they got it all. Paparazzi right there on Thomas Drive. Also, Beef O'Brays in Lynn Haven. They were very successful this past weekend for Super Bowl Sunday. They sold a lot of wings, man. They do a great job. 10 for 10. Tomorrow, 10 wings on the side for $9.99 every Wednesday. Beef O'Brays in Lynn Haven. Pat, love you. Great city commissioner of Lynn Haven. Does an unbelievable job, Beef O'Brays in Lynn Haven. TurPro Pest Control. You want that yard to look absolutely beautiful? It can happen. Patrick can make it happen. Call. They'll come out. They'll survey. They'll come with a game plan. Your yard will look beautiful. TurPro Pest Control, #1. Listen to him every Monday, 8:30, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. You want to get a new roof? I'll tell you more about that. Got a company, but I'll tell you more about that.
Nice.
Yeah, we got a new sponsor coming up. All right, we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is designed specifically for sports fanatics like you. The sports content you demand is always on. Live stream our national and local sports talk anywhere you go. Reach us on all social media. You can also be a part of the show. Call and text into our studios. Plus, up-to-the-minute weather and traffic maps. The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is available at the Apple Store and Google Play.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, partly sunny and a high of 71 with wind 8 to 12 miles per hour out of the south. Mostly clouds tonight, a gentle breeze and quite warm near 67. Partly cloudy and 73 tomorrow. 71 and a possibility of thunderstorms and light showers with a gentle breeze Thursday. Friday, some sun and a temperature the same at 71. This is your Tuesday's weather brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
ESPN Northwest Florida is thrilled to introduce the newest members of the Panama City Beach Chamber to our vibrant business community.
Welcome to the Beach Chamber. Aldi Incorporated, Anchor Realty Florida, Lisa Sorrell, Beach Pizza, D's Steam Pot, Marinate Construction and Stucco Repair, Smarter Web, Culpepper Services, and MK Evolution.
We're here to support your success and help you connect with our community.
Congratulations from ESPN Northwest Florida.
And the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce, reaching Bay County and beyond.
Welcome to It's the Coach James Hale Show.
But I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Live from the J. Michael Studio, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome. Wow, that music, I didn't know it was a funeral or what. We're back live, 104.3 ESP.
It's a New Orleans funeral.
Yeah, he gets mad when I say stuff like that. We're back live, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, home of Jim Brandt, Jason Kovaleski, Wildcat himself. Let's talk about the SEC a little bit, shall we? Let's do. The Super Bowl, we had 46 former players playing, in the Super Bowl. I don't know if they play. Some were on practice players and stuff like that. But we had 40, that's almost, you had 116, that's about 40% of the entire Super Bowl were SEC players. So the question is, do we still have the best roster of all time or the best conference of all? Absolutely. No question about that. There's no argument. Top to bottom.
Alabama still didn't make the playoffs.
Turn it off. Turn his mic off. Do not turn it back on.
No matter how many stats you throw out here, Alabama still didn't make it.
Some of them took a pay cut to go to the NFL, too, so there's that.
That, you cannot prove that?
And Bryce Young still plays for the worst NFL team in the league.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Now they did a power ranking. You know how we were talking about the power rankings? The computers involved in it. The power rankings, top 10 schools with the best coach. Number 10 was Tennessee. Number 9, Indiana. Number 8, and think about this a minute. Tell me what you think about this when we get to the top. But number 8 was Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin. He does a great job getting talent there. They had the best team they probably have had, maybe the best talent team he's ever had, or Ole Miss has ever had, seriously. But they lost 2 games to LSU, and who was the other one?
Georgia, wasn't it?
No, they beat Georgia.
Wasn't it?
Kentucky, yeah.
Kentucky, yeah.
2 teams that really weren't very good.
And Florida.
Yeah, they weren't very good.
I think Lane's biggest issue, and I like Lane as a coach, is his ego sometimes gets in the way. Some of those fourth downs.
Going forward on fourth, yeah.
Not playing the running back against Florida was extremely strange. I mean, it's just some of the things he does. He wants to be able to take credit instead of just going out there and winning the game the safest way possible. Because all they had to do is beat Florida. Yeah. But they put their quarterback in such terrible
Would you
position.
have him in as one top 10 coach?
Oh, absolutely, for sure. I mean, if you wanted to start a program, there's not 10 other guys I would think
there's
had
no
him.
doubt.
Yeah.
He can coach.
All right, come in. Again, now, this is the by computer power rankings. Number 7, Penn State. James Franklin. His record's great until he plays ranked teams. And I thought this was one of his better. And I think next year you keep an eye on them next year. Keep an eye on them next year.
I'm going to keep an eye on them, but if Drew Aller's still their quarterback, I don't see them winning the Big Ten. I don't think it's a slam dunk. Just because he stole Knowles, they've had great defenses. That's not been their problem.
Defense has not been their problem.
If you watch the Ohio State-Penn State game this year, their defense played phenomenal. I mean, I think it was, 20 to
13.
Yeah, something like that. So, and one of those was a defensive touchdown, maybe. Right. But in big games, he just curls up a little bit. Some of his play calling, some of the decision-making. I do think their offense was much better this year, but they're losing Tyler Warren, which was kind of their safety blanket, or safety net. So I just got to see it. Allers does not excite me.
Yeah, I'm not a big Drew Aller fan either.
Right.
You got to have somebody at quarterback. Doesn't have to be a Heisman Trophy guy, but he's got to be able to make plays.
Right.
Just when the thing is there, can he make the play? And then once you get close, then you can't do dumb things like not giving the ball to Tyler Warren on a 3-yard line when he ran a 38-yard run down the sideline and nobody could tackle him, and then he never touched the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad they did that, but it's like, what are you doing?
Are y'all okay with him at 7?
Yeah, 100%.
7.
I mean, the guy can coach.
I think they're going to make the playoffs. I'd say
100%.
Oh, yeah.
If they don't make the playoffs,
okay.
people
I
are
thought you were
no. I'm saying we're nitpicking this top 10,
Yeah.
Number 6, I thought it would be higher, honestly. It was Clemson. Sweeney at 6. I thought he'd be in the top 4.
Honestly, I thought he did really well this year.
I thought he did a great job this past year.
Because you look at their team, compare them to some of, they weren't that talented. They weren't. Klubnik, I haven't been a big fan of his.
Right.
But he had a good year. He did.
He played really well against Texas.
But has he changed with the times?
No, and that's why he's at 6
not.
instead of at 2 or 3.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
Because he's far removed from those 2 national championships, or 4 appearances, I believe.
For 4, played for 4.
So,
yeah.
But just recently, just hasn't accumulated the talent, hasn't taken advantage of the portal, and really hasn't, embraced NIL.
Offensive talent, skill players for sure.
Wide receivers really killed them. They can't get separation, and that's why some of their quarterbacks haven't looked great.
I'm not, I go back
to Sammy
and forth.
Watkins and Hopkins.
Exactly.
And,
I go back and forth on number 5. Because one minute I'm thinking, and another minute I start thinking, wait a minute. The year before he lost to Washington twice, he did beat Ohio State at home. Then he gets embarrassed by them in the playoffs. But Oregon's coach at number 5. Is that about right? Or is it
to me, Dan Lanning is kind of like Ryan Day 2.0.
Yeah.
He's a good coach. He's in a good program. He's got everything that you need to win, but he hasn't just quite gotten over there. See, that's the thing. We're such a win-for-me-now society. Look at Tom Osborne for Nebraska. And he didn't win anything for like 10 years.
Right.
But then you didn't have all the media and all the little phones going, you suck, fire him, he sucks, fire him now. You didn't have that then, and I think he's a good coach. Give him time.
Would you be at 5 or higher or lower?
That's about as high as I would put him.
I think he's a great coach. He's that Kirby Smart, the disciple. I think he's been in the right people. I mean, he runs a tough program in recruiting. I mean, they're recruiting as good as anybody. So you can say that's Phil Knight, you can say this, whatever, but there's a lot of schools out there with money, and he's getting top in recruit championship in the next 5 years. I mean,
yeah, he'll do it eventually.
Yeah.
Just got to be patient.
All right, here are your top 4. The top 4 by power ratings. That's when you got a computer involved in this. Number 4, Stark at Texas at number 4. His overall record's terrible.
Yeah, but I think he's turning around at Texas. It's a lot easier.
Well, I say terrible. It
was 500. I mean, and he's not been at terrible schools, But,
USC.
Yeah, and Washington. So I was impressed with what he's done the last 2 years, the change they've made, the transformations they've made. I think their defense was physical.
Would you have him at 4?
I would, yeah, right now.
Jim?
Yeah, that's about as high as I would go with him.
Depends on who's at number 3. If DeBoer's at 3, I couldn't get on board with him being ahead, or DeBoer being ahead of him.
All right, at number 3, he just won the national championship, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Oh, my millionaire, he called me yesterday. We talked for an hour.
Oh, cool.
All we did was talking about Ohio State football.
Yeah.
That's good. What's wrong with
Day at number 3, higher or lower?
Depends on who's at number 2. I have Kirby number 1, and I've had him there for a while, but it just depends on who's number 2. I might put Day there at number 2 just because he won the Natty, but you can't get over the fact that, that he's 1-4 against Michigan, but Kirby Smart's, 1-5 against Alabama, so, there's a lot of comparisons there, a lot of similarities. Yeah. I think Day's taking the next step. We're going to see with these coordinator hires if he's an elite coach, because this is a big moment for him, but I don't have a problem with him being at 3 or 2.
Well, you got him.
No, that's probably where he belongs. I'm trying in my mind think, well, who's left? Well, because all right,
that's the
Kirby's
question.
Left. I don't know who's number 2
left. Who are they?
I know Kirby's up there. He has to be.
Who's number 2?
I couldn't imagine who number 2 is.
It's not Brian Kelly.
If it might be. It could be Brian Kelly or DeBoer.
You going with DeBoer?
If it's DeBoer, I'm going to puke. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Who you got?
I'm going to go with DeBoer just because of his winning percentage.
Who you got?
I have no idea. Seriously, I have no idea.
This is going to surprise you. Remember, his record's pretty good. He's not had any bad years. Not as good as DeBoer. Marcus Freeman came in second.
No. Heck no. Come on.
I'm just telling you. Don't shoot me.
Kidding?
Okay.
Computer.
Ryan Day should be at number 2. He just won a national championship over Notre Dame.
He just beat him.
And they beat him bad.
Days beat him twice.
3 times.
Yeah, at Notre Dame 3
times. We beat him the first. Was he the coach when we beat him at Ohio State? Because we beat it. We had a home and home with
them. Y'all beat them at Notre Dame.
Yeah. He's 0-3 against Ohio State. So I don't get that at all.
No, are you kidding?
Yeah.
And he had a lot of struggles his first couple of years. He made some bad, field position decisions going forward.
DeBoer didn't make the top 10. And shouldn't have.
I think he should have. He's been to the playoffs.
Did you watch Alabama last year?
I did, but, that's a tough gig to go in there after Saban.
Are you serious? Marcus Freeman is number 2.
Yeah, and number 1 was Kirby Smart.
And I love Marcus Freeman. I think he's definitely a good person.
Character
guy. He does the right thing. You got great character, but he's not number 2.
No, I wouldn't even have him top 5.
Didn't they lose to like a small little
Northern Illinois?
Yeah. But that was the power ranking coaches of 20.
I'd have Sark ahead of him, to be honest. I'd have Dabo ahead of him. Dabo's won 2 national championships.
He's only been a head coach like 4 years.
Yeah, and there was issues in that early 2 years. People wanted him fired. That's just some revisionist history there.
So much for paying dues, huh?
All right, let's talk. Again, it was power rankings. Let's talk about some of our great people. The legendary J. Michael's Restaurant on Thomas Drive. The best seafood you'll get anywhere. The ice cold beer. I'm talking, it's got crystals in it. It's unbelievable. The foods, the burgers, the steaks, the pork chop, they got it all at the legendary J. Michael's. Let me tell you something about J. Michael's. You talking about a great place to go in and look around. They got surfboards in the ceiling. They got a motorboat in the ceiling. They've got all kind of stuff. Bear Bryant and Bob Hope pictures. Bear Bryant, everybody pictures. Bobby it's unbelievable what's in there. Go check it out. The food's incredible. The service, I love the people down there. The legendary J. Michael's. Also, for all your real estate closing, do what the elites do. They all use South Oak. Title and closing, so should you. Chuck Tucker does an incredible job. Their business has expanded. They're all throughout the Panhandle. South Oak Title and Closing, number 1. Stevenson Air Condition. Nobody does a job like Stevenson. I'll talk more about them in a second. Dr. Chad Mitchell, the legend, in here every Monday. He truly is a legend. People come from all around just to be operated, just to get checked out by Dr. Chad Mitchell. 25 years he's been on a Bay County sideline taking care of Bay County athletes. We'll be right back because my voice is giving out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, the home of the one and only Wildcat.
Marcus Freeman.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know the traditional, when you win a big game, you take the toilet paper and you roll the trees. There's a place they do it.
Yeah, and so Toomer's Corner, this little wrap around it, the extra thing of toilet paper, and it said Toomer's Corner on it, right?
Yeah.
You know what I use that for?
To
go to the bathroom.
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Bringing you the world's #1 auto brand is a lot of fun. Camrys and Tacomas, Land Cruisers and Grand Highlanders. Toyotas are just built to be better.
And that's exactly how we built Panama City Toyota, to give you a better experience.
Where your needs always come first. Where you can relax with a great cup of coffee or browse the Heritage Collection. Or we help you add the perfect vehicle to your collection. Come see us today at Panama City Toyota.
Whether you're an experienced investor or first-time buyer, Beach House will provide you with top-notch service to guide you through every step of the process. We make the real estate process fun and easy through effective marketing, strategic advertising, and always a client-focused experience. From single-family homes to full-scale developments, Beach House Sales Development has you covered. Check them out at beachhousesalesfl.com or give them a call at 850-919-3500.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. John. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
He's the sexiest man on the planet.
Live and local from the Jane Michaels Studio. The Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Alabama Update is brought to you by the one and only Stevenson Air Conditioning. They're there for you anytime, day or night. Local company. Let's take care of locals. Locals taking care of each other. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1, and nobody else. Make sure you call them if you have any problems. Get it serviced about every 6 months. If you've got an old one, get rid of it. Buy a brand new one. You're going to save it. It'll pay for itself over a period of time. With the great power bill that you'll get, you'll be shocked how much money you save if you go with Stevenson Air Conditioning. All right, I want to talk about Alabama real quick. Alabama softball team is off to a 4-1 start. Excuse me. They beat Western Kentucky 14-5 in 6 innings. Alabama had a record stealing bases. They stole 10 bases in that one game. That was a record in that 6 innings. Andrew Vandergrift, she had a record 5 bases stolen. Good job for her. Alabama's beaten Washington. They've beaten Michigan State the past week. Next up for the Alabama softball team, they got a chance to be pretty good this year. They're at the Clearwater Invitation. They got Ohio State Buckeyes will be there. UCLA will be there. Oklahoma State and Jacksonville State. So let's keep an eye on Alabama softball, because I don't think baseball is going to be that great, but I do believe softball is going to be really good. All right, we do have a caller. Let's take this caller. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, and how is everything at the world's most beautiful beach on the Golfo de Amerigo?
Couldn't be better. Could not be better.
I have called to defend Alabama basketball against this Auburn getting dumped by 20 at their home court, even though I love Coach Pearl. Why is Alabama not #1 for at least a week?
They are #1. USA Today, Alabama made history. First time ever, #1.
How is Florida not ahead of Auburn?
I don't think that's the Associated Press.
We don't. That's communism. We don't go by that. At Alabama, we go coach's poll.
Pravda, huh? Coach's poll. Okay, very good. Let me tell you something about your baseball team. They're good at gambling. Your softball team's good at thievery.
Their common theme there?
Yeah, they're immoral. You know, it's
just means more.
And Auburn, yes, it means more. Auburn, they don't buy that toilet paper. They always steal it. That way, you go to take a leak at Jordan-Hare in late in game. Oh man, it's okay. But if you go to do #2, you better go down to the corner and pick up some toilet paper.
Did you hear Chad Mitchell yesterday? He stayed at a high-end restaurant right there on campus, and they give you a roll of toilet paper. He's like, well, what the hell is this?
Oh, really?
But he knew. It's to go down and roll the trees.
Roll the
tradition.
tree, yeah.
And poison.
Everybody's got traditions. Tennessee's got traditions. We just use sawzalls and portable welding torches to tear down goalposts when it matters.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just had to check in with y'all.
What do you think? Seriously, Auburn. I was going to talk about that, but we do it now. Auburn did still get to be ranked number 1 in AP poll after losing. Duke lost. Alabama won. So a lot of people thinking Alabama will be number 1 in both polls. They are not. Alabama's number 1 in the coaches poll. USA Today coaches poll. Bama's number 1. Auburn's number 2. Florida Gators number 3. Tennessee's number 4. What do they all have in common? They're all members of the SEC.
Yeah, except for Duke. You know, I mean, Duke.
Duke's
what did you say, Duke? Oh, they are. They boy, they didn't even mention that up here. They talked about them going down to 4 in AP. So you're looking at that's USA Today.
USA Today. Yeah, 5.
Yeah, they're really torqued off. They up here in the Carolina in the Tobacco Road area. They think that Duke should have gone down 1, and that Auburn should have gone down 1, and that Alabama should have moved up. They're okay with that.
Yeah.
And Florida. But what's really got them hacked off is they're just not going to get anybody in the tournament. And Hubert Davis is a good guy. He's a cello player, by the way. He's a smart guy, sensitive guy. And he got hammered by 20 at Little John last night in Clemson. One clown up here was saying he thought that North Carolina might beat them. I'm like, are you crazy? Come on. But FSU is coming to town tomorrow night. You think Leonard, my old UT Martin buddy, can pull off one on the road?
North Carolina?
I don't know.
No, he's against Wake. Wake.
Okay. Yeah.
Wake's tough at home. Hey, let me get back on Alabama. It's their time. Stevenson paid for it. And I think you love Alabama, don't you, Coach?
Absolutely.
Slightly.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Just a little bit.
I love it, too, and I've loved in it. Y'all have a great one. Go Vols, though. Bye.
Go Vols.
Vols. Yeah, Alabama, a lot of people were upset. I'm not. You know what? They're number 1 USA Today. Auburn lost. What do you guys think about it? They lose, and they didn't lose very well. I mean, they didn't play very well. And Florida had a lot to do with that. The game started, Auburn looked like Auburn. They looked like they're going to blow them out. Then Florida gets hot. They couldn't miss threes. They just look better. They look really
Auburn's
good.
free throw shooting was horrendous.
Yeah. And not only that, but Florida looked like the better team to me. I mean, they have size everywhere. I mean, they shot the ball well. They beat them at Auburn. I thought they would jump Auburn. At this point, let's be honest, the polls mean nothing. You have a huge tournament. The seeding is going to matter more than anything. So, I mean, we could talk about this. It's good for, sports talk, but at the end of the day, this is going to all play out. But I did think Florida should have jumped them just because of the way they beat them.
Yeah, and the big game, this could be the biggest thing happened in the state of Alabama in a long time, especially in basketball.
Yeah.
1 versus 2. But everybody got to remember, Auburn's got to go to Vandy tonight and play there. Alabama's got Texas. There's no guarantee what's going to happen there. So I'll talk more about that in a little bit.
But you got to commend the SEC for the way they've attacked basketball over the last 5 years. The coaches they've hired, the facilities.
It goes to our commissioner.
For sure. 100%.
He said this. Remember when we talked about it? He's made a point, taught the ADs, we've got to get better in basketball because he saw how much money basketball brings in. And they've done it. They went out and spent the money to get these coaches in here. They built great facilities like Auburn. And it's working out. I had heard one time, too, they had mentioned Bruce Pearl at Indiana. He's not leaving Auburn.
They're going to go after Dusty May. Now, will Dusty May leave Michigan after a year? But Dusty May coached, was an intern ball boy under Bobby Knight. They made a mistake because they wanted to get rid of the coach last year and hire Dusty May. So they waited a year, gave the coach another year to see what he did. He ends up at Michigan. He would have been slam dunk hire Indiana, and he still may go there. To me, that's going to be who they're going to target everybody. Indiana's a blue blood school. They're one of the only schools left in the country that is basketball first. Even Duke's got a better basketball program. North Carolina invests a lot of money in football. Indiana is a basketball first state. It's a basketball first college. It's one of the only ones left that's a true blue blood. So they're going to get a big time coach.
Wildcat, you're going to let them talk that way about Indiana, their neighbors.
Didn't Kentucky
south.
used to be a blue blood school?
Wasn't Kentucky the true blue blood?
I don't care about Indiana.
Perfect answer.
Rats.
Did you think Auburn should stay number 1 after losing to Florida?
No.
Okay. Anyway, here we go. USA Today. Number 1's Alabama. Number 2's Auburn.
I don't like USA Today neither.
That's the coaches'
by the way.
They know what they're doing. Number 3's Florida. Number 4 is Tennessee. Number 5's Duke. Number 6, Houston. Number 7, Purdue. How good's Purdue?
They're solid. They just don't have
not as good as they were last year.
No, they don't have the star power they had last year. I think they lost Braden Smith too. He might still be out there, but the team's just not as complete as it was last year.
Then you got number 9 is Texas A&M.
But he can coach that team for where they're at. They're overachieving big time.
Texas A&M's number 9. Iowa State's number 10. What about Michigan State used to be really good. They're 11th. They still pretty good.
I think this is one of his better teams. They always lose some games they don't during the regular season, and then he turns it on in the tournament and ends up making a Final Four.
He's a very good coach.
I think this is one of his more dangerous teams over the last 5
and
years.
Just for the record, Mr. Bobby Knight fan, Tom Izzo at Michigan State has tied Bobby Knight for the most Big Ten wins.
I love Bobby Knight.
Yeah.
Michigan State 11. All right, 12, Texas Tech. I hadn't watched them. Arizona's 13th. Memphis is 14th. Memphis is always pretty good. They were in Conference USA when we were at Southern.
Yeah, Penny Hardaway's the coach over there.
Yeah. Wisconsin's 15th. Marquette's 16th. 17th Michigan. 18th Kentucky. 18th Kentucky. What has happened to Kentucky?
Like I said, you and USA can.
I mean, y'all put up with that losing like that? I mean, the football team fell apart.
What does EAD mean?
Huh?
You said you and USA Today can, and I saw you mouthing something.
Clemson's 19th and Kansas is 20th. Kansas is always good. But that's your top 20. UConn's down to 24th.
They just had a weird year this year.
He could have gone where he wanted to go.
Yeah, and they lost some really strange games this year for their talent level, for their coaching ability.
You know, you talk about basketball. I was listening in a car the other day, and it just happened to be on. It was Duke and North Carolina. North Carolina, they're like 14-9. This is
they're not very good.
Well, when they announced the lineup, I understood why. They start 4 guards. They have 4 guys. This is big a time basketball as you can play. 6'4" and under.
Oh, wow. That's
and
insane.
their tallest guy that they started was 6'8", and they're playing Duke.
Yeah.
Wow. And, 6'10", 6'9", 6'8". It's like, how can you compete at that level and 4 of your guys are under 6'4"?
No, that's
I don't care how good they are.
Learn how to jump.
Man, are you kidding? How do you allow North Carolina to get to the point where you got 4 guys starting 6'4" and under? That's
strange.
Isn't that pretty cool, though? If Alabama wins and beats Texas, and if Auburn wins, they'll be 1 and 2 in the country. That's crazy in basketball.
Yeah,
and top
I never
4
thought I'd see
all
it.
SEC teams too. I mean, you got Tennessee and Florida up there that are playing as good as anybody. You could see there's a good chance you could see a all SEC Final Four this year if they're not in the same bracket.
I want to see, because we thought
it's always.
I just remember at the beginning, middle of the year, all those SEC teams ranked the top 10, and then we get 3 in.
But if you watch Auburn this year, Alabama, they're out of conference wins. Like Auburn beat Ohio State by like 40 or something.
Yeah,
it wasn't even close. And then Ohio State turns around and beats Kentucky. So I mean, they're not a terrible team, but the wins they've had out of conference, I think they're legit.
Yeah, I just not football. They were overrated. Yeah. So, all right, let's take a break. Let's talk about some of our great people that we have, like Stevenson Air Conditioning. I want to thank Jason and his crew for the Alabama update. Again, anytime, day or night. And winter's not over. And if it is, you got to get ready for spring, summer. And you got Stevenson Air Conditioning. Get it serviced, I would say, June and December. Always get it serviced by. And you go with a local company. Go with somebody that graduated from Mosley High School, has been here his whole life. Hire local people. They take care of you. They are the most honest people I've ever dealt with. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1. Dr. Ward, I love the guy. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. 7:30 tomorrow, we'll have him on the show. Does a great job. Absolutely does. If you're a female, breast cancer and skin cancer can be deadly. Get it checked out. 5 minutes can save your life. And he's got offices throughout the Panhandle of Florida. That is Dr. Ward. Jason, Max Fit Sports Nutrition, where are you located?
We're on 23rd Street next to the Tzatziki's in Del Coronado Village, and we are in Pier Park North next to Dick's Sporting Goods. We got our InBody 570 at both locations, free sample bar. Come try out some of our proteins, vitamins, aminos, pre-workouts, anything that you need, we got. So come in and check us out.
All right, we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Who's the hottest coach in the SEC? When I say hot, on the hottest seat in the SEC. We'll let you know when we get back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the ESPN Northwest Florida Hall of Arts Magic Express.
Hey,
Hey, Sean, you just won the Holland Hearts Magic Express to see the Orlando Magic play at the Kia Center.
Oh, my goodness.
You're riding the Magic Express for the ultimate road trip.
I'm in shock right now.
Sponsored by PCB Hobby, Panama City, Toyota, Holland Hearts, and Fairfield Hampton Inn on Thomas, and Home 2 Suites. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, partly sunny and a high of 71 with wind 8 to 12 miles per hour out of the south. Mostly clouds tonight, a gentle breeze and quite warm near 67. Partly cloudy and 73 tomorrow. 71 and a possibility of thunderstorms and light showers with a gentle breeze Thursday. Friday, some sun and a temperature the same at 71. This is your Tuesday's weather brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? We can typically replace them while you wait. Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? In many cases, we can have it back to you the next day. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, just south of Tractor Supply. The best place in town to take a leak.
Phone lines are open. 850-215-6290. The Coach James Hale Show is taking your calls live and local. From the J. Michael Studio, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle, hey, Martha, Kenny, James, Jenna. And don't forget, every Thursday, 8:15, Andy Bertram, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida, because we are the home of the Auburn Tigers. Listen to Auburn basketball right here. Every time they're playing, every time they tip off, we're right there with them. Listen to Andy Bertram. He does an incredible job.
He does. I listen to it, and I'm like, we talk to that guy every Thursday, man. He does a good job.
He is excited. I love it, man. I absolutely love it.
He's really smart, too. Really knows basketball.
All right, I want to talk about Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze, believe it or not, on one of these some of these publications, the number one coach in the SEC on the hottest seat, any head coach in 2025. His overall record at Auburn, 11 wins, 14 losses in 2 years. Brian Harsin didn't last as long as Freeze has lasted. The honeymoon's definitely over for him. There's no doubt about that. Now, the other coaches, we all know Billy Napier still on the hot seat, but you can see, you can feel it. Auburn's swinging to the right. I mean, Florida's swinging to the right side. Right. They got a brutal schedule, but I think that quarterback and the players they got coming in, I think Florida's going to be able to be in pretty good shape next year. Arkansas, Sam Pittman, Venables at Oklahoma, and Kentucky, Stoops are all on the hottest seat you can have. But they say Auburn's head football coach, Hugh Freeze, is on the hottest. They fired Gus Malzahn. They fired Harsin. That cost Auburn a total of $37 million. If Auburn was to fire Hugh Freeze after this season, they would owe him $15 million.
It's not too bad.
15 compared to the other ones. That's a bargain for Auburn. Coach Freeze has done an incredible job bringing in talent. I'm seriously recruiting. He's knocked it out of the ballpark. Bringing in transfer players, he's done an incredible job. But it's time to win on the field. And I'm with Auburn's had 4. I can't believe it. In my lifetime, I don't remember this. 4 losing seasons. It doesn't seem like way, but they have lost 4 times in a row. He can't go 3 years in a row losing season. You can't. You got to win at Auburn. They will fire you. You can't lose at Alabama, and you can't lose at Auburn.
I think his biggest mistake so far has been hitching his trailer to Peyton Thorne. I mean, I think they needed to go get a portal quarterback last year, at least for competition. They didn't feel like they they needed to. They felt like they could develop Thorne, and it just did not work out. And I think they're going to be in a similar situation this year. Not that they're going to, they brought in Jackson Arnold. Is he the guy? I mean, I don't know. He didn't play very well at Oklahoma, but he's young. And then they brought the Deuce Knight in. They flipped the kid from Notre Dame. So they have some 2 talented quarterbacks. But if you don't develop them and you can't get them up to speed.
And the word, if you listen to what's on the street, they're leaning in towards the kid from Oklahoma, the Arnold kid. So.
They should. He's got a little bit more experience. So, I mean, bringing a true freshman in and, if you win 6 games next year, he's probably gone.
Yeah, I agree. Let's take this phone call. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. How are we this morning?
We're doing great. Who is this?
This is Rob.
Hey, Rob.
I was telling your phone screen he was multitasking when I called in. Great job there. I saw one of you guys. I'm not sure which one of you were. I don't think it was Coach Hale, maybe. I saw you the other night at El Rodeo Tequila Bar. And I
remember talking to you.
Actually, we didn't speak. He walked out as I was standing at the corner at the bar, at the counter there, waiting to pay for a goat meal. But I didn't want to interrupt you. You were busy with your lovely bride there. So
that was. I don't say much about that. Was my girlfriend, so I don't say much.
Okay.
No, somebody came up and talked to me. I remember him and his wife. They had met him before. He'd helped coach around here. So you were sitting at the bar, wasn't you then?
No, I was actually at the counter getting the goat food, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
There. We nodded head at each other and spoke to each other that way, but you were talking to one of the owners, and that's who I talked to afterwards.
Oh, okay.
So, but I wanted to say, it's nice. I travel the world. I get to travel my job, and I get to listen to a lot of talk radio. It is nice knowing in my hometown, my city I live in today, that you guys actually visit the places that pay your bills.
Oh, yeah.
You Stevenson Air, constantly talking to those guys coming, big Alabama guys. They always want to see my rings and all that from Alabama, and I have to show them to them every time they come out. But it's nice knowing that you guys do use the people that sponsor your show. So I just want to say thank you. So that's very nice, you guys. And the second part of the thing, you guys were talking about Marcus Freeman a while ago.
Yeah.
We all know a quarterback can make a coach. I don't care what you say. I mean, that's a fact. A good quarterback can change your program if you've got a halfway decent defense.
Yeah.
We saw it this year. Notre Dame, Ohio State, success stories. Auburn, Florida State, transfer quarterback, bring guys failures. Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
Right.
But you better have a guy who can play and make a difference and be a leader. And I don't know who that quarterback's going to be for any of the other teams moving forward, because there's a lot of holes at quarterbacks coming up. I mean, there was a lot of teams in the top 10 this year that lost their quarterback.
Right.
We're going to see a big change in how these teams interact, and then I think your defense is going to have to play at a higher level, to get them back there. But anyway, I just want to say that. Thank you guys for a great show. I'm not in town very much. When I'm in town, I enjoy listening to you. You guys do a great job.
I appreciate it. Let me ask you this. You bring up a good point about the quarterbacks. Kelly's saying some good positive things with this roster. It's a championship-type roster at LSU. He does have his quarterback back. Alabama doesn't have theirs. Auburn doesn't have theirs. Georgia's doesn't have theirs. Yeah. Now, Texas has Manning's back, but, I mean, he didn't start every game. Do we truly know how great he really is? So what do you think LSU might be the team we maybe not given enough credit?
There's some issues with Brian Kelly's group right now. I mean, to be honest with you, there's some internal strife going on there. He's going to have a really good come-to-Jesus meeting and get guys back on the same page there.
Yeah.
Because there is some disruptions inside that program.
Yeah. What about the young man? You remember the young man that had the medical issue and his father was blasting him? He said the coach didn't even call him.
Yeah.
That's brutal, man. That's terrible.
Yeah. And we all know Brian Kelly when he was at Notre Dame. He didn't even do his own press conference.
Right.
He had his own guy. He's disconnected. I don't know if that's going to work at LSU or not. LSU, you got to be involved, and I don't see it. There's a lot of players there, a lot of coaches there who feel like Brian Kelly speaks down to them.
Yeah.
And that won't work at LSU. It's not, it doesn't work that way anymore.
Yeah.
But
He had those issues at Notre Dame. He lost the assistant to, I believe, the Chicago Bears, one of the best.
Nobody would come
coaches.
with him.
Yeah.
Nobody would come with him.
And this is why I thought it was a bad fit, because LSU's a completely different run program. I mean, you have to. It's a booster run program. Let's be honest. I mean, they'll give you talent, but you better coach them up and get them right. And if you're downgrading players like he was on the sidelines and coaches, you're not going to last long. Plus, he's not from this area. He's not from the South. He's a fish out of water to them.
I mentioned this several times. What he did when he got off that plane, and all those people, when he was first hired, all those people on that gate waiting for him to come over and say hello, he went and got into the van. You go watch Saban, he went into the crowd, talked to all those guys. Most coaches do. He just kind of waved them off, and I was like, that was a bad look, man. You had a chance to make those people love you. They're out in that heat waiting on you, and you walk right on in and get in the van and leave. Yeah. That was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Louisiana, Mississippi per capita have more Division I athletes and pro athletes than anybody in the country. It's not even close.
Right.
When you can go shake a tree in any neighborhood in Louisiana, Mississippi, and find, you know, athletes. You need to have a really good relationship with the local community to make that continue. And at some point, you burn that bridge. And I think that's what's happening there. And that the kid who had the brain tumor, you know, that's a bad story. That's just a bad look.
Yeah.
You can't have those.
How can you justify that? I mean, how really and truly, what did he ever make a comment on? I think he did, but that's terrible.
Hard to explain away.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made all the right. If somebody gave him the right statements to say, he said the right statement.
Right.
But you know, I've been in this business for 35+ years, you know, and I see it. I see it from the official side. I see it from the inside side, from the booster side. You know, it does, in the end, if you're not a good person, it shows up.
Yeah.
And that's a fact.
Yeah, I hear you.
Time exposes everything. Well, you just talked about some rings at Alabama. Did you play at Alabama?
I was on the staff. Started with Coach Bryant.
Oh, wow.
And then Coach Perkins, we didn't get any rings, of course. Came back for Coach Stallings. And then, of course, when Coach Saban came in, he brought 7 of us back to help get the program started at the very beginning.
Right.
Not so much, not a tax there really right now because the new staff don't want to be. I think it's time for, you know, for Coach DeBoer to get his feet planted in the ground, you know. But I've been very fortunate in my life to have some really good connections. If I had time, I would tell you stories about me driving Coach Bryant.
You better call back.
Yeah, you
better call me back.
It's fun times.
Coach Hale's tail's wagging right now.
How often are you in Panama City? How often are you here in Panama City Beach?
I lived here, but I travel during the week. My job is just I travel all over the country.
Man, call back in. We'll make room for you. I'd like to hear those stories about Coach Bryant. That was my hero, man.
I knew him since I was 3 years old. My dad played for him. So
wow.
You know,
do you remember? I don't know how old you are. Do you remember Johnny Davis, the big fullback?
Yes, I do.
Johnny and I played at Lanier High School together.
Really? You're a Lanier High School graduate, huh? Wow. Okay.
Well, Mal Moore screwed up. They got Johnny, and they let me get away to Southern Mississippi.
One of my best friends started out as a punter there at Southern Miss, and he transferred to play baseball at Jacksonville State.
Wow.
And his name was Brassfield, Joe Brassfield. He became a state high school coach in Georgia and won state championships in football and baseball at Peachtree High School there.
Wow, that's awesome. Hey, listen, I gotta take a break. The guy's giving me that mean look. Hey, call back now. I want to talk to you again, okay?
All right, great.
Thank you, sir.
Great talking to you guys.
Thanks,
Great
man.
day. Thank you.
That's pretty cool. I want to hear about him and Coach Bryant.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyway, I had a little bit more about Hugh Freeze. We'll get back. We'll finish up with that. All right, let's take a break. We got to take a break, or I got time to talk about anybody? Talk? Thank you, sir. Pro Pest Control. You want to make your yard look beautiful? Patrick can make it happen. Patrick will be here every Monday, 8:30. Can't wait to talk to him. Our yard looks beautiful. That's because of Patrick. Pro Pest Control, #1. I'll tell you what, I got Jamie a little special gift for Valentine's Day.
Oh, nice.
Where did I go? And who did I talked to Russ.
You went to talk to Russ and Amber, and you went to David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
I had a great time.
77 in Lynn Haven.
I found the candy jar, and I sit there and ate it.
I hope you went to the customer appreciation thing they had on Friday. It was pretty.
I didn't make it.
I understand it was pretty cool. I didn't make it either. But, they had all kinds of people in it. They've got new inventory in there. Now Mother's Day is coming up. So that's something to think about. And all you got to do, if you got a watch battery that needs to be replaced, piece of jewelry that needs to be repaired, David Adamson, Designer Jewelry, Highway 77, Lynn Haven.
After you're through there, head on down to Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Have a great meal. I love the way they treat you like family there. It's unbelievable. Love the people down there. Food's incredible. That's because Pat Perno makes it that way. He is incredible. The City Commissioner of Lynn Haven. Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven. Get out there and have a great time. Tomorrow, 10 wings inside for $9.99. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
The number one Auburn Tigers 14-game winning streak came to an end last week, but they're ready to start a new one. Tonight, the Auburn Tigers are in Nashville to face conference foes, the Vanderbilt Commodores. Tip-off coming up at 6 right here on your home for college basketball and the Auburn Tigers.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
War Eagle. Bet live with Hard Rock Bet. Real-time wagering till the very last play. Missing the kickoff doesn't mean all bets are off.
Delay a game on the guy who hasn't bet yet.
Sometimes you just know your team is going to come back. There's sportsbook for every kind of player. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
How would you like to receive money for your car that you don't need anymore? When you call the Sell Car US hotline right now, we'll come to your location. Within a matter of days, we'll offer you a fair price for your vehicle and we'll remove it for free. How great is that? You don't need to go anywhere. No people stopping by your house to look at your car, wasting your time on test drives. We come, we offer you a price, and pay you immediately. Call the Sell Car US hotline right now to arrange to have one of our representatives come right to your door and tell you how much your car is worth. Cars, trucks, vans, running or not, we'll make you a deal. Call this number right now.
800-609-2771. 800-609-2771. 800-609-2771. That's 800-609-2771.
You don't know what his problem is. But it's probably hard to pronounce and untreatable.
That don't feel so good.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I love that phone. I love when people call in. And if you do see us out, come sit down, talk to us, have a great time, pay for our meal. All right, let's talk about Auburn. We did talk about Hugh Freeze. One thing about Hugh Freeze, the $15 million is kind of different than all the coaches. I think they were wasting time, but I think they're going to have a good year. I think they win 9 games next year and they shut everybody up. I think the key number is 8. I don't think 7 is going to get it done.
Right.
Maybe. It depends on who the 7 wins are over. If they beat Georgia or Alabama and they win 7, he's fine. If they don't beat one of those two teams, he's 7-6 and lose a bowl game, and then people are not going to.
You want to hear a schedule?
Yeah, go over it.
Here, we've done this before, but we're going to do it again. At Baylor, start at top to bottom. At Baylor, that should be a win. Ball State,
win.
South Alabama,
that's a 3.
W.
Okay, at Oklahoma.
That'll be his first test.
Should be a win.
Yeah. At Texas A&M.
I don't know about that one.
That's going to be a good game.
Georgia.
Ugh.
Missouri.
That's a win.
Oh, no.
At Arkansas.
Win.
Kentucky, that's a win.
Win. Oh, yeah, that's a blowout.
At Vandy.
Win.
Mercer, your homecoming opponent.
Win.
And then Alabama.
They can get to 9.
They need to. If he doesn't get to 9 with that schedule,
yeah, they need to get to 9.
I mean, you're missing Florida.
They've got some good players
LSU,
now.
You're missing a lot of teams that could really.
Yeah, no Ole Miss, no LSU.
I didn't hear Texas.
No Florida.
Yeah.
Right.
I think he's going to do it. I think he's good. But now, if it goes south, he goes 6-6, 5-6. If he goes 5-6, he's out of there. I do really believe that. Now, here's the deal now. They won't have to pay him like they did Hugh Freeze and Harsin. He will be paid monthly through 2028, which helps if you're going to fire somebody. That does help. Now, with Harsin and Gus Malzahn, they had to pay him 50% of the money, what it was owed to them within the first 30 days. That was a lot of money. That was $26 million for Hugh Freeze. Now, why people were upset, the record last year, we all know that. But I had, 3 losses, pre-October losses at home, all at home. It came against teams that were 6-6 when the season ended. Auburn lost to Vandy by 10 at home. They were, 6-6 for 2025 for Auburn. Ain't gonna get it done. He's out. There's no doubt about that. All right, let's. Vegas. Vegas has come out and they said Auburn has this is one website on Vegas, and I didn't write it down. I apologize for that. I want to say Kings. I think it was DraftKings. Vegas had Auburn as the 19th best odds to win the national championship. Now, does Vegas know something? I guess we don't know.
19th best odds.
That's surprising. Also, Vegas, Baylor game, Arnold's favored by 1.5. 1.5.
Dang. I thought they'd be favored by way more.
It's at Baylor, though, too.
At Baylor.
Okay.
Baylor leads the series 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie.
I will say this. If he loses that game, watch out.
Yeah.
He's got to win that one.
They're going to be coming for his head. Yellowwood will not be happy with the loss out of the gate.
Yeah,
with all the money he spent on that roster. I mean, they got a big time roster.
NFL Super Bowl odds for 2026 are already out. Let's go over these. Didn't they play the game Sunday?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kansas City Chiefs have the best chance to win the Super Bowl next year coming out of Vegas. They're plus 600. The number 2 team, it's actually a tie. There's 3 of them tied for the number 2 team. Do you know who they are? Got any idea?
Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes, that's 1.
Buffalo Bills.
That's 2.
Ravens.
That's 3. Good job, guys. Y'all know NFL too. Eagles, Bills, Ravens, all plus 700. Lions are next, plus 900. 49ers, plus 1,500.
They get healthy, yeah.
Yeah, they had a lot of injuries.
Defense is really good.
A lot of guys hurt.
Yeah.
Sure.
Packers, Bengals, plus 10,000. Bengals.
They got Joe Burrow. They played as good as anybody at the end of the year. He could have been the MVP. I mean, their defense was atrocious at the beginning of the year, but by the end of the year, there wasn't many teams beating them. I know that. That's a good bet, to be honest. I mean, put 100 to win 10,000. That's not a far-fetched long shot right there.
Got to brag on the Georgia Bulldogs. They're incredible. Their defensive players that go into the league do a great job. They're prepared. They're ready to do it. They're coached by the best, and that is Kirby Smart. National leaders for his active Super Bowl streaks in the NFL. If you've had alumni playing this game, who has the number 1? It is the Georgia Bulldogs. 24 consecutive games Georgia alumni has played in the Super Bowl. They're number 1 right now. Alabama has the most national championship wins, but Ohio State and LSU battle for who brings in the best DBs into the NFL. Who say you, Jason Kovaleski? Is it Ohio State Buckeyes or is it LSU Fighting Tigers?
I think LSU's had more high-end DBs. I mean, you go back to like Honey Badger and a couple of other guys that played.
Peterson.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but yeah, another one. But Ohio State just had so many consistent guys they've been putting in the league. They're going to put 2 more in the league. So I'll give the edge to LSU just because of the top-end talent, but I think they're super close.
Jim Bob, who brings in the best defense? Well, no, that's answer your question. Ohio State, LSU, far as DBs. You agree with what he says?
Yeah, probably. The Browns have one. Denzel Ward played at Ohio State.
Now,
he's a very good player.
This is over a 59-year period now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Where was Jack Tatum from?
Ohio State.
Sean Springs, Antoine Winfield. I mean, there's some studs. Mike Doss didn't have a great, NFL career, but
Malcolm Jenkins.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty. Let's just say push.
Von Bell.
Yeah. Jack Tatum, I says, give it to Buckeyes. He was that guy was
Yeah, he was phenomenal.
He was a killer.
Right.
Thing is, the way he played, he
couldn't play.
He couldn't play.
No, they would throw him out of the league.
He'd be done.
He would tell you he was going to try to hurt you because that was his job.
He would. I'm surprised he didn't break his own neck. I've seen him make hits. So like, how in the unbelievable. All right, is anybody out there do a better job producing defensive linemen than Georgia recently?
No. I mean, the difference in the Super Bowl was the defensive line. Patrick Mahomes had 0 time to throw, and I think 2 or 3 of those guys were from Georgia.
Right.
Can you guys tell me starting quarterbacks to win a national championship and a Super Bowl? I think there's 3 or 4. There's 3. A national championship and a Super Bowl. One of them just happened. Jalen Hurts.
Okay, I forgot he won.
He won the. No, I didn't say
championship. Sorry,
won the national championship. Alabama won the Super Bowl with the Eagles. Who are the other two?
God, I don't know. It's got to be an Alabama connection.
Well, that was it. That was one of them right there.
Bart Starr.
There's only three. Bart Starr at Alabama.
Todd.
Alabama was terrible.
Oh, really?
Terrible.
Richard Todd.
Notre Dame.
Joe Montana.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Who did he play for in the NFL?
49ers and the Chiefs.
Good job.
Broke my heart. I was a Bengals fan.
So
Montana to Rice.
Yeah. So that's two
Taylor.
of the.
He was
Johnson Taylor.
Two of the top. That's two of the three. Hurts, Alabama, and Eagles. Joe Montana, Notre Dame, 49ers. Who's the third? It wasn't what you said. Who's the third? Bart Starr. They were terrible when he played Alabama. He didn't even start. Their head coach didn't even have him starting there.
Is this an older generation?
Yeah, pretty old.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might go.
Pretty old. And I will say this: he's probably the most famous football player ever at one time.
Joe Namath.
Joe Namath. Okay. Yeah. Joe Namath won the national championship at Alabama, and he remember the Super Bowl III. He said guaranteed.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's your three right
and
there.
Matt Snell from Ohio State scored the winning touchdown.
Yeah.
Number 41 on an off-tackle play to his left.
I saw all y'all's comments.
Matt Snell.
I saw your comments on Super Bowl Sunday. Makes me mad. How much time I got? Oh, okay. Let's talk about the local 115 downtown historical Panama City. I love the Vinegrettes. I love them. I love all their partners down there. I love when Judy's down there and Don's down there. That restaurant is incredible in historical downtown Panama City. Local 115 on Harrison Avenue. Go check out the newest, the hottest, the place to go. The local 115. It's an oyster bar with a sports theme. You would not believe all the pictures of former coaches, players, cheerleaders. I'm talking about every sport. The 1966 base roster is up there. It's incredible. Tommy Santamont, the county AD for 23 years.
Even pictures of Coach Hale when he was answered.
Jason Kovalesi's jock is up there. It's amazing. It's amazing everything's in there.
It couldn't fit on the wall. Come on.
That was good. I like that. I like that.
There's a curtain for the front window.
Glenn Manley's got one whole wall just for him.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's amazing. They got oysters. They got crab cakes. They got steamed seafood. They got gumbo. They got soups, salads. They also one of the few places that have a salad bar now.
Yeah.
They brought it back. I'm glad they did. It looks pretty good. They got wings. They got ice cold beer. They got every kind of draft beer you can think about. They even got Tommy Oliver draft beer. It's incredible. Go check it out. We think you'll like. Kind of healthier option. They're open for lunch and dinner, and that is down on 115 Harrison Avenue, the local 115. Jason, you're good enough to come in here today. Max Food Sports Nutrition's been a big part of our family for a lot of years. We want to feel better. We want to look better. We want to stay healthy. And we go see you for that reason.
Yeah. Just come see us on 23rd Street in the Del Coronado Village. I'll be down there today 2 to 7. So if you want to come in and talk to me, I can show you some of the products we talk about on the radio every day. I can give you some free samples. You don't have to buy anything. You can take them to the gym, workout on them, or to your house if you're just looking for a multivitamin. I can put you on the InBody 570. We can kind of, get an idea of your body composition. I can recommend, a diet. You don't have to buy it when I just recommend stuff. But we do have a certified nutrition on staff if you do want to, pay for somebody to kind of sit you and walk you through the process. But we have both locations, Pier Park North and in the Del Coronado Village on 23rd Street.
I encourage you, if you have a son or daughter that plays sports, you want to give the edge, go down and spend some time with Jason. He'll call, you can make an appointment, just walk in and talk to him. They can talk about your nutrition, what you should take, what you shouldn't take, as far as supplements, creatine. They can talk about steroids, stay away from that.
Yes.
They can help you get an advantage. And right now, scholarships are almost impossible to get. With the transfer deal now. It's so much tougher on kids to get a scholarship these days. And so you do want to edge, and go get it when they're young. Get them on this stuff when they're young.
I'd say about 14, 15 is when I start to incorporate supplements.
I get it's so scary to see what we're feeding the youth, these young kids. Sugar is killing us, and all these young kids are doing nothing but sugar. and they're eating out of boxes. The easiest thing, both parents are working, so I was a big deal of it. You go by what's easy to fix, and all it does is it's not healthy. It's not going to help them be a better athlete. It's not going to help them live longer or anything like that. We've got to be careful what we're feeding these kids, these high school kids, middle school, elementary kids, and Jason can help with that. And you got I like what you're talking about. You don't even have to cook. You go, they'll deliver it to you.
We have Max Fit meals, so you can order by Friday. We can deliver them to you by Monday. You can bulk order off our menu. We use fresh vegetables from local farmers. We use grass-fed raised meats. I mean, these are healthy alternatives with not a lot of preservatives, not a lot of extra stuff in them, but we can do custom meals. If you want a custom meal and have specific needs for your diet, you can email maxfitmealsanytime@gmail.com, or you can go to our Facebook page, Max Fit Meals Anytime, and go to our square, and you can bulk order right off our menu.
We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the inside drive.
I think it's an absolute farce that MTBC didn't get Coach of the Year, where he dismantled the Vikings. We beat them twice. We won the NFC North. When our whole basically defense was in the intensive care unit at Henry Ford Hospital back in Detroit and all that. Come on, man. Really?
Join Ryan Mulvey.
Very little.
Middays 11 to 1 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, partly sunny and a high of 71 with wind 8 to 12 miles per hour out of the south. Mostly clouds tonight, a gentle breeze and quite warm near 67. Partly cloudy and 73 tomorrow. 71 and a possibility of thunderstorms and light showers with a gentle breeze Thursday. Friday, some sun and a temperature the same at 71. This is your Tuesday's weather brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Do you want to eat like a local? The Local 115 is now open. Local drinks, local sports, and local food. Delicious oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbos, salads, paninis, wings, wine, and cold beer. Nothing fried. That's right. No fried foods at Local 115. Amazing local food with an exciting local sports and mural theme. Eat like a local at the Local 115. 115 Harrison Avenue, downtown Panama City.
In 2025, come on down to That Boot Store and pick out something that will help make 2025 a year to remember. Choose from one of the largest selections of Western wear and accessories you'll find in the area and at affordable prices. For the hard worker, there's name brand, Carhartt work clothes in all the right sizes with plenty to select from. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5. Friday and Saturday, 9 till 5:30. Next to Bill Bird Kia 15th Street, Panama City. That Boot Store, where God is good all the time.
From the Vortex Springs to the Bear Paw Canoe Trail. From Shell Island to 30A. We're your home for live sports. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're talking about baseball. This is the SEC coaches poll preseason by the baseball coaches. They all predict that Texas A&M will win the SEC. And you talking about going to Nebraska to watch the World Series.
Yeah.
You've got to go to Birmingham. They do such a wonderful job in Hoover. And what I love about this year, every school will be there, but you lose one time, you're gone. That's kind of different. But Texas will be there, Oklahoma. I've never seen them in baseball. I want to see that. I will be there. I'm going to watch a lot of the baseball up there. I encourage all you go to Hoover and watch the SEC tournaments. It doesn't cost much. They treat you. They run it really well. Huge stadium.
You're a little surprised that Texas A&M is number one, losing their coach like that?
Yeah, I thought it kind of surprised me.
That did, me too. I mean, that was a big blow to them, and they seem to just have a lot of talent.
Is that a slap in the face to Texas?
Hopefully. I want to just see them play. There's going to be some brushback pitches there.
I do want to see that game.
Yeah.
They had a total of 10 first-place votes, I believe, 220 points total. Tennessee is number 2. They are defending champs. They come in they had 215 total points. Arkansas was number 3, 214 points. LSU, you got to keep on LSU. They're always good in baseball.
Yeah.
You got to go up there when LSU's playing There's nothing like it. Really? I don't care what they're playing, basketball, football, baseball, especially football and baseball. They tailgate for baseball.
Oh, they're a traveling party there.
they treat you so good. Come over and party. They'll feed you. They'll give you. And then you get in the stadium, they'll try to kill you.
Yeah.
But they're incredible.
They'll feed you with your Alabama shirt on?
They're great. It's just when the games start.
Alabama gear?
I'm telling you, when they play, they pack the place out. It's incredible. I love watching them play a baseball game. Number 5 was Florida. Now, LSU had 204 points. LSU had 183. I'm sorry, Florida had 183. Number 6, Georgia, 165 total points. Vandy was number 7 with 156 points. Texas was already down at number 8 with their new coach with 146 points. Mississippi State, they're always good in baseball. They love baseball. They got great facilities there. They bring a lot of people to Hoover also. They got 112 points. Kentucky, wow, Kentucky. Sad, man. Kentucky's 10th, 102.
I'm just going to sit here and ignore you for a while.
Oklahoma Sooners are 11th. Auburn 12th. Alabama 13th. It's time for Alabama to do something. 14th, South Carolina. 15th, Ole Miss. 16th, Missouri. You know what? Too long ago, Ole Miss won a championship.
I know.
Baseball, good luck, man. The records won't be that good because they're going to beat up each other, but I do think they'll do really well.
What about the Golden Eagles of Southern Miss?
They're going to be good. They're always good. That's the only thing we're good at is baseball. They got a nice facility. They really do. They got a nice facility. People support it. They sell all their games. People actually give money to the baseball program.
The state of Mississippi has great baseball.
They all three.
Mississippi State, Southern Miss. I mean, so they probably have a very good youth.
It seems like almost every year all three are in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, I want to go back to the Super Bowl one more time. You know, how important are these 5 stars, 4 stars, and all this kind of stuff? They did this. They didn't do it for the Chiefs, but they did it for the Eagles, the winners. They had 7 5 stars on the Eagles roster. They had 18 4 stars. They had 17 3 stars. They had 6 2 stars. There were 5 players on the roster that weren't even ranked. So 4 and 5 stars, you had 25. 2 stars, 3 stars, and everything else, you had 23. So
it's a crapshoot.
Do you have to be a 5-star, 4-star to make it in the NFL and be a great player?
No.
The chemistry. One thing about this, though, and y'all, I'm going to say it anyway, the head coach was a good Christian man.
Right. The
staff, he has a good Christian, what I've heard. The players, you listen to the players, I always like watching these interviews and listening. They seem like really high-character people.
Jalen Hurts is a great dude. I mean, and he's a great leader. So, you know, in football and especially in the NFL, the players lead. The coaches are there for more, you know, administrative purposes, making plays, making choices, but they're not the leaders that you see in college football. The players in that locker room and that culture are developed by the players. And I think having Jalen Hurts and those type of guys in there are the difference.
Devontae Smith's high character guy. He's a great kid. Yeah. Great kid.
Even that defense, because, you know, a lot of them Georgia guys had some issues, you know, at Georgia with, you know, arrests.
Speeding.
Yeah,
just speeding.
Some things, you know, killing people. But, I mean, they get into that Eagles locker room and the culture.
It's a thing, man. It's a thing.
It just means more, okay?
But they're able to bring those guys in, and they don't disrupt the locker room because the culture's so strong up there, and that comes from within. So
You know what the biggest disappointment for me, just watching that game as a football fan, former football coach, is how simple the Eagles attacked them. They didn't blitz them one time.
Not once.
They just put their 4 guys out there. Sick them, boys.
Yep.
I mean, and in reverse of that, Kansas City knew that and couldn't do anything. Nothing.
I didn't understand why they didn't keep a tight end and at least chip and bring another guy.
They just got destroyed. Their offensive tackles for the Chiefs got absolutely destroyed.
And it just didn't look like they were prepared for it.
No.
I don't understand why either.
I don't either.
They didn't run the ball but twice, I think, in the first half, which was strange to me. You know, Andy Reid's a great coach. You know, he's way better than I am, but has more knowledge. I just thought it was really
Did you
strange.
see how they moved the offensive lineman around? They moved around 3 of them instead of just 1.
Yeah.
And they blamed that on it. And then run the ball.
Who's that one lineman that got his neck hurt? He was a defensive lineman.
Chris Jones.
Yeah. Is that who that did? Whatever happened with him? I mean, I never did hear an update.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, he was in pain.
Yeah. You can play that game 100 times. If you can't block, you can't win.
They won it up front on both sides of the ball.
Jalen Hurts looked good. The offense looked good, but that game was won by the defensive line in the first half. I mean, created
no
the
question.
2 turnovers.
They just destroyed him.
Yeah. Mahomes, for the first time in my life, looked completely frazzled, completely confused. Had no, pocket presence.
He had no chance.
No, he didn't have a chance.
None.
He tried. He made some really cool plays, but they just weren't consistent enough because he was under attack all night.
We were talking about, the 5 stars in the NFL, but in college it does mean something.
Oh, yeah.
These are the teams that had the most 5 stars, the top 3. I'll just mention them. And since 2020, Alabama has 29, Georgia 25, Ohio State 19. Who just won since 2020, who's won the most national championships? Those 3 teams right there.
Yeah.
So it does matter.
Oh, yeah.
And you got to develop them. I got that. Texas was 4th with 17. Texas A&M, they hadn't done anything with theirs. They were 15. Clemson had 13. LSU had 10. Oregon had 8. Miami had 9. And Oklahoma had 10. Now, I was about to say Oregon maybe does the most with theirs, but then again, they've only been in the Big Ten for 1 year.
Right.
So
we'll see over the next 2 or 3 years because they're accumulating top-end talent.
We got about a minute. Let's talk about your
Yeah, I'll be on 23rd Street today, 2 to 7. Of course, we're open 10 to 7. You can come in anytime. Come check out our free sample bar. It's free. Come try pre-workout, proteins, amino acids, vitamins, whatever you want. And we're located in Pier Park North next to Dick's Sporting Goods.
All right. Ryan Moby's got a great show lined up for you at 11 to 1. David does an incredible job every day with the underdogs in Wildcat. We couldn't, you know what? You complete me.
You hear that guy on the phone, he called me boss. The boss.
You are the boss.
You are the boss.
You are the boss.
The boss.
We love you.
You're the best of Bay.
No
That's
doubt.
right. Unlike some people in this room, James Hale.
I want to recount. That's
what Trump said.
There were some hanging chads in some
Trump
of them
even
votes.
told me I had won.
Oh, okay.
He said, I don't know what happened. Damn. We're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick. And if you don't have to blitz Patrick Mahomes and you're going to put that kind of pressure on him, you can have an average line and that